Hey Beth, I'm gonna do a quick DNF video about the book Mother Mother by Zia Rayan. I didn't get very far in it. The premise was kind of okay. It kind of had some fingerprints of early book stuff, but the reason I had to drop it was because of twin stuff. I don't know if you know this, but we're twins. And the book starts when a woman has to go home when her dad and aunt die in a car crash together, and her mom, who was twins with the aunt that died, and her brother, who is an older teenager, are still at the house, but they're acting weird. Mom is actually nice and not abusive for once, which is a huge red flag, and it's super odd. And the brother just wants to stop talking about how mom is being weird and what she used to be like. This has some clear imposter stuff going on, but the obviousness of that isn't what made me stop reading it. What made me stop is that the adult daughter finds a diary written by her aunt about how when they were teenagers, they were two alike and everybody saw them as the same person. And I was like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. I can relate to that. Nobody wanted to differentiate us if they weren't already friends with us. And even then, sometimes they were just like, yeah, you're interchangeable because we're too similar. But what's weird is the aunt's internal thoughts about it, because even though the mom was evil from the time she was a teenager, which is already annoying, I'm really, really sick of born evil characters, the aunt is like regular and nice. And then when her high school boyfriend, who is the protagonist's dad, didn't notice that they were different people and just hooked up with the sister without realizing, they decide that, fine, we're going to both pretend to be the same person and date him at once. And what gets me about that is that this is happening in the first, 20% of the book. It's so early on for this to be a revelation, and we know so little about the mom and aunt characters up to this point that the aunt just accepting it and being like, well, of course, we're basically the same person, so isn't my happiness also her happiness? And I'm like, why on earth am I supposed to believe that this woman is so codependent with her twin and thinks of herself as the same person as her twin, even though they have different personalities? And it feels like I'm just supposed to accept it because they're twins and that's naturally how twins feel and think. I don't know if that's exclusively the reason that the author wrote it like that. She could have just also been bad at writing, but yeah, that was too much for me. I was like, I'm not going to give the rest of this book a chance if you're like, yeah, let's just assume that twins are sympathetic to each other in a way that means they think of themselves as basically being the same person. The aunt was like hurt that her boyfriend couldn't tell her and her sister apart and that her sister seduced her boyfriend, but she did think very clearly, oh, yeah, we're the same. So of course we should both want to be happy or whatever. And just, no, if you're going to introduce this concept, you're going to have to sell me on the idea of the mom being abusive way faster. You're going to have to sell me on the idea that the aunt is really codependent with her. Otherwise, it just comes off like all twins think that they have the same brain because they have the same face. Like, it's just dumb. Okay.